Welcome to Campfire Stories. Get close to the fire, get warm, get comfortable, and join me in this wonderful story. The thing that will kill you. I grew up in a tiny town in Vermont. Tiny in terms of population, not size. There were huge sprawling farms and wooded areas, but almost no people. My only close friend was Tina. We spent almost all of our time with each other, constantly dreaming about life outside of Vermont. The other people in our town were strange folk, different than in other places. One thing I didn't realise about small towns until I moved to the city is how incredibly superstitious that people could be. They believed in the strange, the paranormal. They believed in Luvia. Luvia was an older French-Canadian woman who had moved to Vermont when she met her husband. Everyone in town wholeheartedly believed she was clairvoyant. So Tina and I decided to see her one evening for a reading. I was skeptical, but it seemed like a fun thing to do, as a joke. We dropped by her house in the early evening and she opened the door as we walked up the pathway to her house. Before we even got a chance to knock, Tina elbowed me hard in the ribs and whispered that Luvia was clearly a psychic. She sensed us coming to the door. I whispered back it was probably more to do with her house being full of windows and the fact that she probably saw us coming from a long way away. Either way, I started to feel strange the minute we got close to her. She was very, very old, very tiny, and kind of sunken. Sunken eye sockets and sharp cheekbones. A sort of concave chest cavity. It was more than a little unnerving. But she smiled and was sweet to us, so I started to warm up to her. Nothing about her or the house screamed creepy psychic to me. Just a well-dressed older woman in a cabin-style house. We told her that we were interested in a reading and handed her about $20 that we gathered up between us. "What can you tell me about my love life?" Tina asked. Luvia had no crystal balls, no tarot cards, or even tea leaves. She just closed her eyes and sat silently for about 2 minutes. "Michael Carton, the man you're going to marry. Michael Carton." Tina thanked her and repeated the name to herself a few times. "Michael Carton, Michael Carton." Luvia then turned to me. She looked straight into my eyes, grabbed my hands and said, "The thing that will kill you is shedding its skin. The thing that will kill you is sharpening its teeth. The thing that will kill you is washing the blood off its claws. The thing that will kill you is gathering skins. The thing that will kill you, you won't see it coming." The three of us just sat there in silence for quite a while. I felt sick, shaken up. Luvia looked as if she wished she hadn't have to tell me that. "Is there anything I can do to stop it?" Luvia slid the money back across the table. No charge for the reading. Tina and I slunk out of Luvia's house quickly. We just didn't say a word. Tina just found out the name of the love of her life. I got to listen to a horrific, cryptic message about my death. I was only 12 years old. For years I looked for it, the thing that will kill me. I could almost feel it, sense it just behind each car, swaying behind the trees at night. With every step I hesitated. Every time I tried to sleep, I could almost see it. What did she said about his teeth? But I never found it. When I was 18, I left for college in California to get far away from the snow and the cold and the thing that will kill me. People in California laughed when I told them the story, and it stopped seeming real. Just the ramblings of a tiny ancient French-Canadian woman. It wasn't real. When I was 27, a wedding invitation came in the mail. Tina was getting married. This was the first time I'd heard of it. I was still in California and barely kept in contact with anybody back east. It seemed like a past life. You are cordially invited to the wedding of Michael Carton and Tina. What? No. She had the name in her mind. Michael Carton. And she sought him out. It had nothing to do with Luvia. Her predictions weren't real. They couldn't be. Clairvoyants don't exist. Right? I went to the wedding. Tina, Michael and I laughed about the whole thing. The psychic knew. She predicted it. Of course she didn't. Tina and Michael decided it was nothing more than a funny story to tell their future children. Just tell me if you run into some beast with razor-sharp teeth that's gathering skins, okay? I left the wedding as sure as I ever was that the thing that will kill me wasn't real. I didn't know why I had been so scared so long. The best thing about Tina's wedding was that we got back in touch for the first time in a very long time. We were very, very different people than we had been as children, but we still shared more of a bond than we ever realized. She was happy living in Vermont with Michael. As the years went on, her calls and emails got less and less frequent. She always seemed to be busy. Soon they tapered off completely. I missed her, of course, but I had my own life. One winter, I came into town to visit my parents for the holidays and decided I'd swing by Tina's house. Normally, I'd never just drop by, but she was pretty bad about answering her phone, so I really wanted to see her. I pulled up to her and Michael's house. 2 cars were in the driveway, so I figured they were both home. I walked up and rang the doorbell. Michael opened it, dressed in several layers and a large coat, as if he'd just come in from the snow. He looked very surprised to see me. He invited me inside and took off his coat and hung it up on the coat rack by the door and asked if I had talked to Tina recently. I haven't actually, not in several months. Sorry for the invasion. I don't usually just drop in like this, but I just wanted to see her. Is she here? I figured you know. That you might have heard. She left me a few months ago. Hasn't spoken to me since. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. Then whose was that car in the driveway? I'm sorry. I was about to get ready for bed. I've got an early work day tomorrow. Do you mind? He kicked off his shoes and pulled his sweater off and headed towards the bathroom. I settled in and looked around their home. So, do you know where she lives now? I don't. She didn't call me after she was gone. He started flossing and then he saw me looking toward him, so he closed the door for privacy. When I heard the shower water start running, I pulled out my phone, figuring it was time to have a look through Tina's last messages to see if there was any hint of where she'd went, any clue, at all. My phone fell out of my hand as I grabbed it out of my bag, and I saw it drop beneath the couch. As I felt around under the couch for my phone, my hand hit something else. A massive clump of long hair. Brown hair. Like Tina's. Hair with a piece of scalp still. The thing that will kill you is gathering skins. I turned towards the bathroom door. Michael was still showering. The thing that will kill you is washing the blood off its claws. Flossing. Brushing. The thing that will kill you is sharpening its teeth. Slipping off his clothes. The thing that will kill you is shedding its skin. Oh God. The thing that will kill me. The water in the shower stopped. I ran out the door, slammed the door, sprinted to my car, shaking, watching the door. My hands fumbled with the keys, shaking. The door to the house opened. My car started. I drove. I didn't look back. I just kept driving all through the night, through most of the next day, only stopping when I absolutely had to. I had no idea if he was following me. I had no idea what I'd just seen. My heart didn't start beating normally again until I was 2 states away. I went home. This was months ago. I'd called the police. They investigated. Nothing turned up. They were sure she'd just left him, moved away. Maybe she did. Maybe she's far away. safe. Maybe nothing's coming for me. Maybe Michael is just a poor guy whose wife left him. Maybe there's nothing behind the trees, in the snowdrifts, underneath the cars, outside my door at night. Maybe it's probably nothing. Luvi has been wrong before, hasn't she? The thing that will kill you. You won't see it coming.